Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing a stack cut using the laminated flooring on some scraps I had. As in the last video that I had done, I did it on a single piece, and I was so impressed in how nicely that this laminated flooring cut. I definitely wanted to do a stack cut so I could offset the colors. Let's get to cutting this piece. When I put these pieces together, I wanted to make sure there was no shifting. I wanted to make sure that my ultra reverse blades would work in the doubles stack cut. And of course I put the blade on backwards first, go figure. Yeah, nothing like being away from the scroll saw for a while and you can't even get the blade on the correct way. Anywho, I did the overkill. Not only did I glue the pieces together with tape in between, but I also put screws in it. I definitely did not want these pieces to shift. With a stack cut like this, and I want to take one piece and put it in the other, it's pretty important that the cuts are straight. So I didn't want any shifting at all in the two pieces that I was cutting together. Now, this particular pattern is for a customer. This is not the customer piece that I'm making. This is what I wanted to give it a go on before I actually made their piece. It's a Taino symbol of a frog, and for just a little bit of history on even what that is and what that means, the Taino were an Arawak people. They were the principal indigenous inhabitants of most of Cuba, Jamaica, Hispaniola, now the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and Puerto Rico. Now, the Taino people were primarily farmers and fishermen, and shortly after the arrival of the Spanish conquistadors in the 1500s, the Taino population was decimated by famine, disease, and war within 20 years of them getting there. The Taino written language was in the form of petrographs or symbols carved in stone, shell pendants, and pottery, most of which can still be found around Puerto Rico today. The symbols were used to manifest their bond with nature and the higher realm. The Taino people revered the Coqui frog, which is what this is, that's C-O-Q-U-I, with the spirit world and believing it would bring good luck. For example, the Coqui frog represented resilience and guardianship. It is a cherished emblem of the cultural pride used to evoke memories of home and community. The Coqui frog also represents female fertility, children, and beneficial rains because it is often heard before the rains come. The Coqui frog is now a national symbol of Puerto Rico, embodying the spirit of the island and its people. I was quite surprised by how nicely this cut. I really, the eyes were a problem for me, but so what else is new? But anyhow, since I haven't done anything in 2 months, I guess I'll give myself a break. But I didn't know how this would cut being double stacked, and it cut just as beautifully as it did with just a single piece. So it was pretty exciting to see how these were going to go together. When I did the parameter, I just freehanded it. I was going to do a circle around the frog, and then of course I didn't have enough room. I could have made the frog smaller in the first place. I just figured I'd go with a random shape that went around the shape of the frog, and you'll see at the end what I ended up doing with it. So yeah, it was a great piece to do. This was like my trial run before I did the actual work that my nephew requires. He doesn't require, that he asked for. And I chose the frog because it was quite simple. While this wasn't part of what he was looking for, I'm going to give it to him anyway. I think he'll enjoy these pieces. The Ultra Reverse number 5 blade, I'm pretty much sold on those so far. The other pieces I'll be doing will be in 1/2-inch plywood, sanded plywood, more finished. One thing I want to note here, me using the tape in between the pieces with glue and then screwing it down. While those pieces didn't go anywhere, it was truly a nightmare to separate them, because you have to be quite careful on not breaking any of the pieces you cut out, because obviously as you cut things they become more fragile. So I ended up using a razor blade, and as you'll see, I'll just let you watch, I ended up getting a pair of pliers and just slowly prying it apart. It came apart just fine, but yes, it was definitely a challenge. I have to admit, those things did not want to come apart. It was amazing how well glued they were. Oh, I was beginning to panic a little bit, wondering how I was going to make this happen, but as soon as I had a little more leverage with the pliers, it definitely pried apart quite nicely. So I guess I was a little more exuberant with the glue than I needed to be. The tape took a while to get off. Putting the screws in probably wasn't necessary. But, you know, I'd rather have too much than too little. It was really great fun to be back at the saw. The next video will be the actual project that he wants me to do. Again, it'll be the same pattern, it's just a larger version. But my goal for the projects that he's requiring, or again, requesting, I want to do the positive and negative on these projects, so there's two pieces out of one. So that's the goal, and I want to fine-tune that skill, because that's something that has been difficult for me to do, and to get a real grasp on it. And so yeah, so you know, I may not be a scroll saw newbie anymore, but I'm certainly have a lot to learn still. But I think I want to keep practicing the skills that I've learned to become really good at it and have it become second nature. I will be putting up a renovation video soon. That's what's keeping me away from the saw, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. It's been one heck of a project. I'm almost done with one half of it, and I'd like to be able to get that video up for y'all to see what I've been doing. Let's see what this looks like, huh? I was ecstatic at how it turned out, with the two different colors and the two different pieces like that. There's some things I learned from this, but otherwise it was nothing to make note of. It was just a wonderful project. And what I ended up doing with these is I sealed the backside with Bondo and paint, and they're just little hanging things that can hang around their business center. If you got this far into the video, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching.